It's Friday the 15th of January 2016 and I'm at Newport in Essex to do a section of Harcamlow Way. Yes, I'm doing the path out of sequence again. I've just walked along the main road through Newport and have now turned right along this small road to fork right under the railway viaduct, and I'm now on Harcamlow Way. Now heading into the countryside along this track, along Harcamlow Way. Heading out of Newport along this clear track along Harcamlow Way. At this point the walk bears to the right to follow the edge of that narrow wood. Harcamlow Way is a figure of 8 walk, and this bridge is where the outward part of the walk joins where I am now, so both parts are contiguous along here for a short distance. The routes diverge again here. Harcamlow Way towards Cambridge is up there, and the way we're going towards Harlow is along this valley floor. Still walking along the valley floor. I'm following the stream known as Debden Water. It's on the right. I've been following this since Newport, although it's not been as close as this all the time. Very cold today, but very sunny, as you can see. There's a fork here. The walk bears left along where I'm heading. There's a view of Debden Water on my right. The problem I've got is, again, I'm walking into the sun. The path is quite narrow here. We now come to this stile. We go through this gate where the path bears right, heading towards a road. We now come to this fairly busy road where we turn right. I think it's around a quarter of a mile or so. From the road there's a great view over the valley of Debden Water, which we've just walked along. We turn left off the road down here. Great views ahead along the path. Now heading towards Debden village. Now heading across this field. From the field in the last clip, there's a nice view over to a lake over on the left. We come to this T-junction where Harcamlow Way turns left to cross that bridge ahead. Immediately after the bridge in the last clip, the walk turns right along this muddy track. We now enter Debden churchyard. This is not the Debden on the Central line, by the way. This is much further north in Essex. And there is a view of Debden church. Looking back to Debden church. Very peaceful here. Now in Debden village, there's the village sign. Harcamlow Way heads up this road in Debden. Harcamlow Way heads out of Debden along this wide but muddy track. The view further up the wide track. Now walking along the edge of Rowney Wood. At the corner of Rowney Wood, Harcamlow Way turns left to continue with the wood on the left. At another corner of the wood, we turn right and then bear left along here. The path continues just inside the wood. The path's on the far right of this clip. I'm doing this because of the sun. At the end of the wood, Harcamlow Way heads across this field. Decent view looking back to Rowney Wood. Decent view over to my left. And there's the path ahead of Harcamlow Way. A few yards on from the last clip, the walk passes this pleasant pond on the left and it continues ahead into this green lane. Still heading along the clear green lane. Further on the track becomes very muddy, been churned up by vehicles. The path is excruciatingly muddy and very difficult to get along at the sides. We now go straight over here through that gap in the hedge. And there's a fox. A fox running in the hedge. We now head across this plank bridge. By the way, the last clip with the fox I was completely off route, but I've left it in because it's a picture of a fox. Now heading across this field to go beneath pylons. I'm now back on track for sure. We now cross this stream and head uphill with a hedge on the right. At this point, the path turns right. We now have to head up here. Now turned left along this concrete track. The concrete ends and the path becomes a muddy track again. We now turn right off the wide track up here. Further on, the path is hedged. Now heading across this field. On the other side of the field in the last clip, we turn left along this bridleway. Further on, the bridleway becomes open. Harcamlow Way veers right along this bridleway and crosses the River Chelmer at this point. Further on, the track becomes a small road heading into Thaxted. Now in Thaxted, and there's a view of the magnificent church. There's a shot of the windmill at Thaxted, although I'm pointing straight into the sun here. Another view of Thaxted Church. A truly magnificent building. Now at the bus stop in Thaxted, and the end of today's walk along Harcamlow Way, with all the route finding problems.